Hello, everyone, and welcome to this event of the Hispanic Heritage Month. Today, we're going to be talking about where Afro-Latinx come from, the culture. Our presenter will be our fabulous Ambar Perez, and she is the former president of the Hispanic Chiropractic Club, and she'll be sharing a little bit more about our Afro-descendant culture in Latin American. Um, if you have any questions, hope you enjoy. I will let you to Ambar.
Thank you, Andrea, so much. Let's begin with this journey. It's going to be a hybrid between me talking and you guys experiencing some videos. So I hope you guys enjoy everything. And let's begin.
Pum, 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 pa, pum, 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 pa, pum, 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 pa, pum, 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 pa, pum, 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 pa. Ayer me dijiste negro. Hoy te voy a contestar. Mi mai se sienta en la sala. Pero ¿y tu abuela? ¿A dónde está? Yo tengo el pelo caído. El tuyo es nada más. Pai lo tiene bien lacio. Pero ¿y tu abuela? ¿Ah? ¿A dónde está? Tu color te salió blanco y las mejillas rosadas. Los labios tú los tienes finos. Pero ¿y tu abuela? ¿A dónde está? Dice que mi bemba es grande y mi panza colorada. Pero dime por la business. ¿Y tu abuela? ¿A dónde está? Como tu nena es blanquita, la sacan mucho a pasear. Y yo con ganas de gritarte, ¿y tu abuela? ¿A dónde está? A ti te gusta el foxtrot. A mí, cucumpá, bruca manigua. Tú te las tiras de blanco. Pero ¿y tu abuela? ¿A dónde está? Eres blanquito enchapao que entra en sociedad, temiendo que se conozca la mamá de tu mamá. A quien que no tiene dinga, tiene mandinga. ¡Ja, ja! Por eso yo te pregunto, ¿y tu abuela? ¿A dónde está? Ayer me dijiste negro, queriéndome abochornar. Mi abuela sale a la sala y la tuya oculta está. La pobre se está muriendo. Hay veces tan maltratada que hasta tu perro le ladra.
So that we just saw, it was a video of the culture that we receive from Africa. He was talking more or less about how grandma it's being hidden in the kitchen and being hidden from the society because of her skin color and her dress, like her hair, like mine, that is curly. Um, and because all the cultures that we have, basically in this case in Puerto Rico and all Latin America, we have been mixed with Hispanic and other cultures, and then that's why we have so many colors. So, for example, if you see my the person that presented me, Andrea, her skin color is a little bit whiter than mine, but she has a curly hair. So she basically is one of the examples of where is your grandma? Because it's noticed that she's still coming from African descendant. So the poem it's saying back in the time when people lighter skin start hiding their grandmas because their grandmas were darker, and the society was not accepting that. So that's one of the biggest cultures that we have, that we express everything that we have gained in poems mixed with music, so we can like, it could be more accepted when you say it and not so boring like normal poem. I wanted to start with that because it's one of the biggest thing from at least my childhood. When I was growing, my mom, she is one of the whitest person. The hair is totally straight, and I am totally different. Like my childhood, completely, it was like, oh, that's your mother, and I'm like, yes. But then my father, it's totally dark skin with curly hair. So I got all the roots from my dad, and then the mixed color in my skin. So, but my mom raised me reciting those kind of poems, even though she's white. She knew how to recite them like from scratch, from her brain. It was amazing how I didn't disconnect myself from the roots, African roots that I have in my blood and in my family. So now I'm gonna share the presentation. Let me see, sorry. Here. So basically, yesterday we had the participation of our president of Hispanic Club, Abel Sain, and he talked about our history and how not only the Caribbean, but the whole Latin American, including Brazil, has a deep and really strong descendant from Africa. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more of the culture that they leave us in our roots. We know that all Africa or Latin America, including, for example, Argentina and Mexico, that you don't see that much the African people, like African color in people. They still have communities, big communities, that has a lot of African descendant. So one of the things that I'm going to show now, that is that is a video of how Africa is not only, it's not only, for example, Colombia, that is one of the biggest one with African people, and the Caribbean, like Haiti or Dominican Republic, that has a high population of Black people descended.
1,000 ethnic groups in over 1,000 languages. Its history of enslaved people has been taught from the United States perspective. An estimated 650,000 enslaved Africans were brought to what we know as the United States of America. But how many people know about the African diaspora in Latin America? Over 7 million men, women, and children were forcefully brought to Latin America, with 5 million alone to Brazil. Today, there are over 150 million Afro-descendants in Latin America. Who will tell their story? Creador Pictures presents Afro-Latinos, the Untaught Story. The idea for this documentary series started in 2007 when television producer Renzo Debbia produced a program specifically about Afro-Latinos on the nationally syndicated American Latino TV. After 7 years of producing American Latino TV and Latin Nation, Renzo sold this company in 2008 and partnered up with writer Alicia Anabel Santos. For 3 years, they have traveled to over 18 countries documenting the story of Afro-Latinos.
In Colombia, there is a small place by the name of San Andres, where our background and our roots and our foreparents was African.
Afro-Latinos is an in-depth and ambitious documentary series, first of its kind, that covers a variety of topics dealing with the Afro-Latino experience, from their history, music, dance, food, to their unique identity issues, languages, and religions. Racial discrimination is still a large problem in Latin America and is rarely covered in the media. Within countries such as Chile, Argentina, and Mexico, there isn't an Afro-Latino classification on their census forms. Despite their impressive numbers, Afro-descendants in Latin America still lack basic political and social power and often live under tragic economic circumstances. Though lots of research has been gathered, never has such a massive video project been attempted covering every country and every aspect of Afro-Latino culture. With the United Nations declaring 2011 the year of Afro-descendants, the timing for Afro-Latinos has never been better. The producers have partnered with the respected.
So we can see that, for example, the discrimination and other things that we see in United States is not only here; it's in the whole Latin America too, because we have countries that the population it's bigger with the Hispanic and European descendant and native Latin people than the Black. So they are also discriminate and margin on countries like Latin America, and they don't have the how to say it, the ability like we have here in United States to have a voice and continue to increase all the I forgot the word. Increase all the knowledge about Black history and the importance that we are too part of a country, and that we have to be what's the word? We have to be represented on the politic part of the government. Before sharing the screen, I don't know if you guys can see that I have like a turban. So this is also part of the culture that African descended lived to us. They were before used. Where is it? They were used before in the past, like the presentation says, to help the people hold the water and the food where they have to carry for long distance, like from the river or from one city to another. They have to carry this big like canasta bowl in their head to then get to another place. So in the past it was used for that, and I can bet in Africa they still use it for that. In other countries and in other cultures, they use it for example, in the desert, they use it to cover from the sand wind. And then in other ones, it's for, what was in Asia? Can't remember now, but there's other countries that also use the turban, not just Africa. Right now in United States, in the Caribbean, in the Latin America, we use it as a cloth like design, like to be more pretty. So as you see, there's a lot of models that we can use. and it's basically now part of our African show up, like our African proud moment for women's and also for men's, because there's men's that also use it. Oh, and the men's use it for cover themselves from the sun, because we know all the African people brought it to America. It was for the work in the land, so they use it to cover their heads from the sun. Let's see where we got. Oh, this is the most important topic, obviously, and I found that we have a lot of food culture from African descended. In especially in Puerto Rico, they the mofongo, that is our cultural plate. Everybody that goes to there wants to eat it. Everybody here in US goes to a Puerto Rican restaurant and wants to eat a mofongo that is not made the same way, because plantains, believe it or not, they don't taste the same. So in Africa, Africans call it fufu, and it was like they boiled the not the plantain itself, the root, and then with that they mix it with meat, and they will create the actual mofongo. So basically, with the time, we have been evolving that recipe. And for example, in Puerto Rico, we have added the famous sofrito and other sauce to then make the delicious mofongo that we always eat back home. These are some of the pictures. We also use the mofongo like in a sandwich. Instead of using the bread, we use the plantain and the recipe of the mofongo and do things like this. I know you are babbling right now because of this. And then we have mofongo with carne frita. That's like pork meat or steak. This will be with probably king crab, shrimps, my favorite. And this is the traditional mofongo inside of a pilon. That is actually the tool that we use to crush the plantains and then mix it with everything else. And that one, I think it has bacon in it. So this is the food, at least in Puerto Rico. In other countries, they also live a lot of gastronomic descended, but I couldn't find pictures itself. So I have this for you today. The religion that they live for us, it was the Yoruba. Yoruba, it's a traditional religion over there in Africa. It's full of spirits, and like it says, it's based on that the human has to go through like the whole life, and then to fulfill a destiny, and then they pass away, but they can come back and do another trajectory. So basically, that's like a little summary of their religion. And what I found, it was that in Cuba, it's the place where it's most practiced. Like this religion, it's the most. It's where it has been incentive more, like for the longest time. Everybody in the Caribbean and Latin America, there's still a little community that practice this, but then in Cuba is the biggest one. In Cuba, it's called Santeria. In Haiti, it's called Voodoo. Voodoo. In Brazil, it's called Candomblé, and then Trinidad and Tobago is Shango. But then all of them are Yoruba or Orisha based. These are different Orishas in Africa. Music. So this picture is from Puerto Rico, and one of the things that I love about this this topic is that back in the time, the music, it was for them to feel like they were back home. they will, when they were a slave and they finished their time working, they will get together in the places that way they were like sent to sleep or something, and they will get together, and with the food that they could like basically steal, and music, and this little uh, thing over here, it's called Congo or barril, and then they made those to create music like they were back home in Africa. So back in the day, they have to hide to be able to play this music and dance this music. And what I love about the topic is now is so that music is so rich that we don't have to hide anymore, and we can just like say it and do it in front of all the public, and it's amazing. So I'm gonna share with you guys a video from back home in Puerto Rico of people dancing um, bomba. That is basically what they live for us. And sorry. So before the video begins, you guys are gonna see how the dancer speak to the bongo, and then the person playing the music is actually in a conversation with the dancer. Sometimes there's a fight between the dancers, and with the when dance move, like every other competition in dance, we also with this culture have the same thing. So I will hit play and enjoy the dance. Sorry for the
Over the
commercials.
last few months, Americans from
So he is talking to this one. Well, I hope you guys enjoy. It's a lot, I know. I was enjoying everything. I wanted to start dancing with the dancer because this is really one of my biggest enjoy moment. And well, I think that was the last thing that I have. I don't know if you guys have any questions. You want to share something that you feel, something that you get from this presentation that you wanted to share with us, and questions.
Well, thank you, Ambar, for sharing that. I'm going to stop the recording now. So